This is your platform partner. Yes, Dwayne Jackson, aka Jackson 360, and this is going to be my Toastmasters rant for the Toastmasters Club. Yes, the official Toastmaster podcast by the realest on the platform. Now, my message is simple for today, and that is during the meeting, every person should speak. Every single person should speak. And what I mean by every person, every paid member should speak, as well as the guest. But if you have too many people, some guests may not be able to speak. But the goal should be to get everyone to speak. Now, I want to tell you why this is so important. The reality is the Toastmasters is the gym. This is where you work out. This is the learning laboratory. Everyone that's there needs to speak, period. Even if it's something minimum, get them to get up and say something. They have to sweat and work out. And we got to push them if we have to. Don't push them too hard, but we got to freaking get them up there going. I want you to keep in mind, I've been to meetings and I have seen meetings where there's two members that are doing 3 roles apiece. And yet there's another member who's doing nothing. That is unacceptable. You should never have a meeting where one person is doing multiple things and you have a whole nother paid member that's just sitting there and just looking. If they spent their time to be there. They spent their money to get to the meeting. They had to pay for transportation. They paid their dues so that they can be there. You need to make sure they have some type of role on that meeting, period, because this is a workout. Think about when you go to the gym, it is designed for you to break a sweat, for you to get in shape. It is the workout. This is not the place. This is not the real world where everything is supposed to be perfect. I've heard members tell people, well, before we can have you do the word of the day, we have to train you and prepare you. Listen, in the real world, yes, but this is not that in a Toastmasters meeting. Guess what? If that person is there and they're a new member, they don't know nothing about word of the day, pull them to the side and say, hey, you got 2 minutes. We want you to give a word. In fact, here is the word. We want you to share the word and you got 2 minutes to do that. There is no right or wrong way to do that. Don't get caught up in these routines and rituals thinking that there's a right way to do it every time. Just because your club has a routine, that doesn't mean everyone has to do it the exact same way. So get that person, prepare them. The goal is to push them up there so that they get experience of being up there. Now, I know they may do it wrong. I understand that. But that's why this is the learning laboratory. So then someone can help them do it better the next time. And then the next time they get better and then they get better and better. They're building their confidence here. And then as they build their confidence, then they're going to work on their skills that they can become better at building the skills. We don't want them to develop bad habits, but we want them to develop the consistency of going over there and fixing their habits along the way. That's why they're paying. I get tired of seeing clubs that are being too strict sometime and just letting people just being too lenient. This is why people don't stay in clubs. I'll tell you why. If people's not staying in your club, is because they don't feel it's that important. They don't feel like it's valuable to them. If a person doesn't feel like they're growing or they have value, that's one of the #1 reasons why they will quit. I don't care when people say, well, you know what, my schedule just isn't working. When people say stuff like, you know what, the transportation is a little bit, I'm just busy. That's an excuse. Let me tell you, people make time for things that are important to them. I've seen people who didn't have a lot of time, not a lot of money. They find a way to get some money for something that they really don't need, but they just want it a lot because it's an emotional need. An emotional want. So that's the thing with your Toastmasters Club. People will stay if it's valuable. People will, in fact, even pay you more. What they pay, $130 or something per year? If they feel like your club is valuable, some people will pay $1,000. They'll find it if it's really worth it to them. The key is you got to make it worth it to them. Every member should be speaking. They should be playing some role. I don't care if it's a small role, if it's internet, if it's word of the day, and then there's no small role, right? But I don't care if it's a role that's for 60 seconds or if it's a role where they're speaking for 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Everyone should be getting involved. At the end of that meeting, get the guest to speak and say something. Make sure people get involved with table topics, right? I'm not saying just push people and make people feel uncomfortable, even though sometimes you need to do that too. But what I'm saying is you got to create the environment where you encourage people to go up there. Ask people easy questions that make people answer easy. You can ask the table toppers question about, hey, what's the favorite website you like to visit and why? Why did you come here today? What do you want to get out of today? Ask them a very easy question that's not difficult, okay? If a person is just afraid to speak, give them something to read. Say, hey, take the Toastmaster magazine on the stage and we want you just to read this article out loud for the thought of the day. Get everyone activated, because the more they feel ownership, the longer they will stay in the club. Now, that is my quick rant about Toastmasters and why everyone should speak. Imagine if you were a Toastmaster for a year, 2 years, and you barely really spoke. You probably wouldn't stay in that club. Where would you be at today? If you are that person, God bless you. Make sure you tune in, subscribe, like this video. I may not say everything that you agree with, but give it some time and you'll see. I'm Dr. Jackson 360. Actually, that's another page I have. This page is actually Platform Partners, the realest platform presenter you'll ever meet. Jackson 360, Dwayne Jackson. And I love you, appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe to pages, and visit the links as well. And we have products where you can place orders to help you grow and achieve more out of what you have right now.